Well, to all those fathers out there, I wish you a happy Father's Day weekend. Hope you got good plans. My kids are coming over and having a cookout this weekend, and I hope the weather's going to hold up for us. So, without further ado, why are you here? You're here to figure out what in the heck's going on with real estate. So, in today's video, I'm going to throw you a little bit of curveball. I try not to do this, and I know you guys are saying, Dan, you talk about it every day, but I try not to talk about housing prices and things like that. But in today's economic calendar, there's really nothing else to talk about. I'm going to show you what the economic calendar looks like, how it might bring down rates even a little bit further today with not that much data coming in. And then we're going to go over to home prices. You might be surprised, and I'm going to give you guys a tool to use today so you can figure out what exactly is your area doing. So if you live in, let's say, Columbus, Ohio, do you really care what San Diego's doing? No, I'm going to show you how to figure out exactly what Columbus, Ohio is doing, or whatever city you're in. So without further ado, let's get over to the news. So right through here, the headline news that we have in Bloomberg. So I use Bloomberg calendar for a lot of this stuff, but today there's nothing, only the Federal Reserve monetary report, and it's really not going to tell us anything. So if we go to my calendar, here's what today's events are. I use MBS Live. If you're a mortgage advisor, I'd highly suggest you use this system. I have a link down below where you can find it and subscribe down there. But here's where we're showing, I'll say it this way. It's deterioration in our economy a little bit, which is needed. But this is right in the wheelhouse of what the Federal Reserve's been looking for. So let me get to it. The first thing you're seeing right here is export prices. Okay, they went down. The previous reading was 0.6 up. They went down 0.6. Now, import prices, how much are the prices of things that they're shipping in? Went up from 0.9 positive to -4. Huge move. This is going to help on the inflation front quite a bit. Sentiment for 5-year inflation, 1-year inflation. Let's skip those because those are just guesses. U.S. Michigan conditions and consumer sentiment. This is also an area where they dropped dramatically. Now, the last time, I want you guys to understand, the last time the consumer sentiment went up, a lot of people, or the markets really got hammered. We saw mortgage rates spike up because they're saying, okay, the consumers are happy. So what does that mean? Well, it's like at my house. If my wife's happy, she goes and spends. So this is where if people aren't that happy, they hopefully will stop spending. So this number came in quite much of a lot of a reverse. Look at the numbers previously. We had the previous number on the University of Michigan conditions section. It was 69. It was supposed to go to 71, supposed to go up. It went down to 62. And then also, again, we got the consumer sentiment right through here. Came in, it was expected to come in at 72. Previously, it was 69. It came in at 65. These are huge drops. Okay, so what I want you to understand is prices are coming down. Consumers' confidence is coming down as well with that. So without further ado, let's get over to today's, what I figured I would talk to you guys about today. So I came across in a Bible study class recently, somebody mentioned hurt people hurt people. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can incorporate this in some of my videos. And mine's going to be more of broke people break people. Okay, so let me explain to you. When I was growing up, I grew up in a small little town in West Virginia. Everybody worked in the coal mine or steel mills. Nobody really had that much more than the other person. We all just lived, and people put their money in the savings account, paid the bills, had enough money to put food on the table, and that's about it. We weren't taught education when it comes to financials and things like that. So what happened though was my father lived through the Great Depression. Okay. And that really turned him against the stock market, because when he passed away, we went and we found some money in a savings account. And it's like, okay, Dad had some savings, which is fantastic, but it was sitting in an account earning, I think it was 0.25 interest. It was a pretty decent size amount of money. And so that made me realize, okay, my dad really never invested. And I remember as a kid, I talked to him and I said, Dad, why don't you put money in the stock market instead of sitting in a savings account making, 0.00 something? You can maybe even get, a return of 4, 5, 6% with the market usually average. And his comment was to me is, I lived during the Great Depression, and to me, the stock market is a complete gamble. Don't know what I'm doing. I see it being basically fixed. During the Depression, when I was a kid, the stock market basically went, belly up. The stock market back in the Great Depression dropped 90%. So people basically lost everything they had. So then I'm like, I get it. So that is what I'm getting at is my dad was a broken person when it comes to the financial piece of this. So he never taught me the finances. So when I got into college, I got intrigued with accounting and economics. So I got an economics degree, and I had a professor, Professor Primrose, and he started talking to me or talking to the class about the stock market and returns, and it intrigued me. So make a long story short, I graduated with an economics degree, and my goal was to get on the board of trade in Chicago. So I moved from the little West Virginia town I'm from to Chicago in hopes of doing that. Well, I didn't get into the board of trade. I actually got into the mortgage business back in '89. Okay. Well, I learned how to invest through college and teaching myself. And by the age of 35, I was a millionaire. Okay. I'm not here to brag about it. What I'm saying is my dad was broke and never taught me the financial systems. So he didn't know any better, but to him, the stock market was a complete gamble. Okay. I'm starting to feel that way about housing. You have a lot of people that are getting to the point right now that they're of the age, but when they were younger, they had this dramatic thing happen to them, which was 2008. So they saw their neighbors, family, friends, everybody losing their homes. So now they're freaked out. So now that's why I'm also saying that might be the reason why when you go into the housing market and you look it up online, here's what you get. It's like, housing market's going to crash. Housing market's going to crash. The housing market's going to crash. And I didn't even put in crash. You just put in housing market. You go to here. You go to just Google it. Now it's a little bit of a different story because this is news agencies. You're through here. Kevin O'Malley issues warning about housing market. Okay, what is it? And then 10 housing markets where prices have jumped by the most since 2022. I thought the whole housing market was just going to crash 30, 40, 50%. Okay, that's what a lot of people have been telling us. Okay, and you go through here, why celebrate some part of the, see 10% price of, could see a price. So here's what you're seeing. But the news is U.S. home prices hit yet another record high. Okay, so I started diving into the analytics of this and the numbers. So here's where home prices are. Now, some people will say, well, I called the crash back through here. This was back in Q2 of 2022. Okay, Q2 of 2022 is when we hit the high peak. Okay, and then we repeated it back over here, right through here. But let's just say, okay, let's say you called this is where the top would be. Okay, and now you're predicting the crash. So back in June of last year, now you're June of this year. Well, this one goes to just Q1. So here's what I want to say: is Q2 we were at the peak, 525. Okay, just last month we were at 513. So it is down. Well, how much is it down? Well, I go to ChatGPT and I put in there. So let me validate these numbers. If you're right through here, this is 525 and this is 513. So you go over to Chat, 525 to 513. How much of a drop is that? 2%. A 2% drop. Okay, but what I want you to understand too is here is all transactions in the United States. So you can cherry pick any data you want, but you can go through here. Here's all the transactions. Okay, you can see where I put it, the Fred. Here's a cool thing is you can go down through here, and this is Fred. Just look up Fred, all transactions on housing purchase. I don't have nothing to hide. Go down through here, and it gives you all kind of charts. You know, how many of these charts you see just plummeting right through here? This is affordability. It isn't the prices of homes. So you see houses right through here. Home prices in California, still up. Home price Case-Shiller, still up. All transactions, still up. And you go down through and down through and down through. So my goal on the channel is actually just to educate you, I guess, because I wasn't educated as a kid on financials. So if you're seeing, in the markets, okay, you Google, what's going on with home prices, and you start seeing some of this. Home prices hit a high, but then prices might drop 10% or whatever. Then you go over to here and you see nothing but crash and doom and crash and doom. Why are these guys doing this? Well, they're doing it right here. Right through here. Look at these view counts. Okay. So when you start getting 100,000 views on this one, didn't get very many, but when you start getting 100,000 views and so forth, these guys are making a living on YouTube. Now, most of these people are realtors, believe it or not. I guess maybe they can't sell a house. My goal would be to help educated borrowers and home buyers, if I'm a realtor, on, is it prudent to buy real estate? When is it prudent? Is your area a good area to buy in? You can't just say with a blanket, just say, oh, housing's going to crash. I'm in Illinois and our house prices keep going up. Okay, so that's basically my whole educational class for today. But if you really want to find out what's going on with your market area, go to Altos Research. Okay, fantastic tool. What I want you to do is go over to here to products and hit market report. It's going to give you a market report for your area. So I don't know what I did last, but let's run a report. Let's see, run a report. I don't even know which one was in here last. That's all you're going to do. Then through here, you're going to put in your zip code. But I guess last time I went in here, I put in Hobie Sound, Florida, whatever that is. And then it'll give you a whole bunch of data. This is a seller's market right now, and then gives you tons of data over to the side. So I won't go through the data with you. Check it out. I hope you like it. But it just gives you the tools that you guys need to know and understand and educate yourself on home ownership. So that's my report for today. The MBS market right now, if you go over to that, the MBS market is up 3 ticks. That really doesn't mean anything. So mortgage rates are going to basically be steady for the day. So I'm expecting us to close the day maybe at 6.95. Don't even think it'll probably move. So we might end up right there today. But don't forget to join me next Monday for a whole new round of information coming out for next week to hopefully educate you guys on real estate. So that's my report for today. My name is Dan Frio. I am actually a licensed mortgage loan officer. I hold a federal license, meaning I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico. I'd love to help you navigate the environment. If you're trying to kick the tires and say, Dan, is this a good market to look in? But check out that Altos research before you do anything. But if you are going to look to buy a house, the first thing I want you to do is check out the Grant Finder right there. We tweaked it a little bit, added some new captions to it. You'll find it's really easy to use. You're going to click the Grant Finder. It's going to help you find grants up to $7,500 that you don't have to pay back. That's one good piece of that. And if you've locked in, so let's say you locked in last week and rates have dropped considerably since then, what can you do? Are you stuck? Well, check with your lender. And if you are stuck, they're like, hey, nothing we can do about it. Do me a big favor, especially if you're locked in. Email me a copy of your loan estimate. You're going to click there. You're going to upload your loan estimate right into that. I'll review it. I'm going to review it. I am a mortgage broker. Okay, I'm a federal licensed mortgage loan officer, licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico, but I'm also one of the country's largest mortgage brokers, set up with, I think right now we have about 40 different lenders we're working with. So if you upload your loan estimate in there, I'm going to compare your estimate with up to 40 different lenders out in the country to see, can we get you a lower rate? Can we get you better fees? Can we get you all the above? So that's that. Or if you'd just like to get the ball rolling, see if you qualify, just hit the apply now button and you're on your way. If you'd like to call us, you can do that. Just scroll down to the bottom of our website and that information is there as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. God bless. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy Father's Day to all those out there. And I hope to see you back here on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.